This is the Bar Stewards Enquiry.
Right? You're talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that...
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
Hello and a big warm welcome to the Bar Stewards Enquiry Weekend Podcast. Yes, Leakey's here with more drivel and bad tips for the weekend. But to arrest the slide of my form on the podcast, we've got trainer Neville Ender. Welcome, Nev.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, and we've also got back from a spell on the sidelines after he'd been injured by an ankle injury from a Piccadilly sandwich and corned beef. Adam Norman, Paddock Sleuth. Good evening, Adam.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, Adam's been doing some sterling paddock work for Patreon members this winter. Some of his comments are a joy to behold. He likes a mare, a good big old mare, does Adam. Likes plenty of them. So if you haven't joined up yet, go and see Adam's paddock notes. Right, John, I hope you're in good form with the 2 all-weather cards for you to go at.
Yeah, you get the fuck on, I get this.
Full of enthusiasm. Right, I'm rambling. So this is the best bets round. If you're a new listener, this is where we go 1, 2 and 3 points. And hopefully we can produce a lot of winners and profits for you this weekend. So John, I'll come to you. You're raring to go. So, so your 1 point win, please.
Pretty straightforward, this. Torrent, 6:30 at Wolves. Looked a fair start, I reckon, on debut. Obviously something went wrong second time up because we ain't seen since. The 2 Godolphin ones must be absolute boats starting off at this trip. And I think this will be straightforward for Torrent.
Yeah, who trains that, John? Torrent?
Andrew Balding.
Balding, yeah. Nice one. Kingsclere, 4-1. John, are you happy with that?
Perfect.
1 point win, 4-1 for John. David Probert in the saddle. Nev Ender, coming to you.
Not a tremendous amount to look forward to over the weekend, although Exeter could be good on Sunday. But I'm going to pick all 3 selections at Newbury. The first of which, my weakest of the 3, is in the 130. It's already taken a bit of a hit because Young Butler and Jay Henty, who would have been first and second favourites, are already out. So the market's going to look completely different to what the Racing Post have given the betting forecast. I'm going to go for Kintara, who I think would have probably prevailed last time at Warwick had he been able to negotiate the final fence without a problem. He hit the last and then stumbled on landing. Only got beat 3 parts of a length by a revitalised Jay Foy. And it was a thoroughly good performance. I suppose if you owned him, you'd be disappointed that he's gone up £4 for getting beaten. But in all honesty, he seems to be revitalised since joining his this present trainer, although he was with Mel Rowley as a point-to-pointer, then joined Kim Bailey, now back to his current handler. Loves the ground, can't see any reason why he wouldn't be suited by the heavy ground. It's got plenty of form on soft, and in a race that it probably will take a bit of winning. He's an informed horse, and he's going to get my vote as my 1 point selection.
Good stuff. 7-2 generally available for Kintara in very good form, and like Nev said, didn't get the great jump at the last that he probably needed to make it a contest. Right, I will go in the same race, Neville, against you. I'm going with a long shot here at 25-1. Generally available, a horse trained by Richard Phillips called Picanha, who's clearly been off with leg trouble, 660 odd days off the track. So that will put probably quite a few people off in terms of a betting proposition. But Richard Phillips is very good with these types. He has certainly won more than his fair share of long absences with horses that have had leg problems. Aye.
Let me get rid of that. Spotify.
She's still going. Heartbreaker, yeah. Go on, Dion.
Yeah, heartbreaker. Yeah, so of course everyone gets bored when I'm talking. Yeah, listen to a bit of Heartbreaker. So Picanha, of Richard Phillips, as I was saying. This horse has been away for gallops. I think they've got him pretty fit. They were going to run him at Sandown the other week, but this is his preferred target, and they decided to come for this. If you remember, Picanha was quite a decent novice, and he actually beat Quintara on the 9th of December by 3/4 of a length off level weights, and meets him sort of on similar terms today. So one's 7-2, one's 25s. Has Richard got him right? Has he still got the zest at 10 years old? I'm happy at 25s to find out. Adam says a resounding no, which will bite him on the arse. I hope it does. It was a good novice. He went off odds on his last 2 starts in handicap hurdles. So clearly they think a marker 1-2-2 is good. So as long as there's 4 wheels there, I might be getting paid at a big price. Adam, what's your 1-pointer?
6:15 Newcastle, lads. Speaking of my paddock notes, this one goes all the way back to September. Mearside Madness. I noted him as a nice sort for later on. They gave him a good 4-month break after running it in August. Last run I saw him at Catterick. I noticed he had a bandage on all his runs to get handicapped. I suspect they've just given him a break and he's got over whatever was ailing him as a youngster. He came out and won last month, a couple of weeks ago, and he's starting out on a good mark of 60. He's just the type to just keep improving and progressing. And with the Baron team going well, they had 4 winners last month and another one already this month. There's no reason to think that he can't win again. There's enough in there, interest from down south, to hold up the price. So I don't know what he's going to be, around 2-1. That's fair enough for me.
7-4 for you, Adam.
Yeah, I suppose we'll have to take that, yeah.
That's what we're looking at. So Adam kicks us off with a nice fav. He loves a fav, one that he can smash into. Right, that was the 1-point round. Good stuff, lads. We will come on to the second round now, and I'll kick us off in the Betfair hurdle, the 3:15, and a nice choice this, in my opinion. Altabelli from the Harry Fry yard. You look at his action, the deeper the better. He'll go through this like a knife through butter. The mark is very workable. They've ran him at the wrong tracks. Ascot is not his track. Big horse. They kept him wide, obviously too wide to scuttle around the bends there. And I just think that Newbury's long straight is far more suitable for this horse, and of a good pace, which they're going to go here. I think Altabelli is an absolutely brilliant bet at 8-1. I'm going to go win only for the Naps table because each way is boring, but certainly if you're a punter and you can take advantage of them 6 and 7 places, 8-1 each way is a fantastic bet for Altabelli. That'd be the play of the day if you can get on each way, obviously for Naps purposes. I'm going to stick win only, Altabelli in the Betfair hurdle. Adam, I'll swing it back round to you for your 2-pointer.
Yeah, another favourite, 350 Newbury Inch House. I went all around the houses and just came back to thinking that he was just too well handicapped and too progressive to win this. Too many question marks about the opponents, ground-wise, trip-wise. This is a nice horse that cost a good few quid. He looks like he might be an Ultima type. I don't know if it'll come too soon, Cheltenham, for this one, but another win here will sort of cement his position in that lineup. Yeah, I can't really look past him. So Inch House in the 350.
Yeah, of course, Mr. Doggy, his second favourite. Nico de Bourneville. So yeah, I can give you 11.08. It's shorter than that in many places. It's 13.08 with Denise, 11.08 with Star Sports, Baldy Ben. But it's 11-10, 10-11 in a lot of places. So being generous with ads there. 11.08 for Inch House, the banker of the day. I'm trying to get him into green. He's in red at the minute. Right, so thank you for that. Neville, your 2-pointer, please.
I'm the same as you, Lee. I'm going for Altabelli.
Oh, wonderful. Klaxon. Yes.
I think he's probably ran on ground too quick last time at Ascot. He wouldn't be massively well in with Lucia or a few of the others that ran in that race, but they've kept him on the same mark of 132. And had he jumped the second last and ran straight rather than hanging to his right in the closing stages, then he would have been right on top of the winner. It's possible the ground was too quick for him that day. If you look at his earlier form, it's all been on really testing ground, and I think the heavy ground will suit him no end. His opening run of the season was extremely good. You couldn't knock it. The horse that won the race, Knickerbocker Glory, pinched a big lead and He was the only horse to chase him home, really. And you can look at the race and you can pick many horses out with chances, and you can go round and round in circles. But I think he's probably the safest of them. There are less question marks against him, and he's clearly been laid out for this. And on the back of just 6 runs, he's got to have more improvement to come. So Altobelli is, like you, Lee, he's my number 2 pick this weekend.
2 points win for Never, 8-1. Again, Paddy's and Betfair. Nice selection and a nice klaxon for us there. John?
My 2-pointer is in the 5:45 at Newcastle.
Yeah.
And he's number 2, Bonaventure, for a friend of the show, Stuart Williams.
Yes.
This really caught my eye on debut. For me, it travelled like the best horse in the race for quite a while, certainly until they turned in. He wasn't the best placed when they turned in, and he ran a bit green when he was asked for some effort. I really like the shape he makes when he gallops. I think he's got a lot of scope to improve with racing. I don't think he has to improve a right lot to win this, to be honest. Twirler in the 1 box probably needs a mile. I think they're going to have to ping out and try and make all with that one. I don't think that's the preferred tactic at this track. It's tough track to make the running. The other fancied one, Duke Wellington. A lot of Archies go keen first time up. He tends to leave a bit of fizz on them. Obviously, with herself riding, I think that might be a recipe for disaster. So I think this will set up really nice for Stuart's horse. 2 points.
Bonaventure for the informed Callum Rodriguez at 7-2. For John, that completes the 2-point round. Max bet round now. This is the lucky 15 round. I know you all love the max bets. Hopefully we can deliver. Nevlander, coming to you for your 3-pointer.
I've got a feeling that Newbury is going to be decimated with non-runners over the weekend. And there's already one come through in my NAP selections race, the 350 race. And I'm going, I cannot ignore the chance of Inch House. He's only lightly raced.
Whoa, second klaxon.
The one thing I would question is whether he's truly 100% focused on the job, because each of his 3 runs that I've seen him run, with fences, he just carries his head rather awkward. And I wasn't overly pleased with the way his finishing effort last time out when he chased home Stumptown, who was something of a, well, we're after timing now, but the trainer was saying what a good thing he was that day. His 2 chase wins have come over at Newbury. I'm hoping he won't start a silly price and it won't be less than 5-4, but he'll relish the ground. He's open to improvement. I think he looks like a horse, national horse, maybe next year, something like that. I really do like Inch House, but as long as he keeps focused, because he has looked a little bit quirky in the closing stages, but I'm going to trust him with my NAP banker over the weekend.
Good stuff, Nev. And Klaxon with Adam. They're 3 points on the nose, 11.08. Same terms as Adam with Star Sports. Okay, Adam, coming to you for your big bet.
Okay, I'm relying on my own paddock notes again. The nicest horse I've seen this season so far, is Hastings in the first race at Newbury, the 12:55. My big horse of last year was Iroko, and this horse, a similar JP type, has a very, very similar profile. I'd say this is a nicer horse. He's a bit older. I saw him at Catterick a couple of 3 weeks ago, and he came clear with 1-14. It was going to run yesterday at Donny. I'd love to have seen how that panned out. He's got a 1:19 mark so far, and McLernan was very keen to hide his true abilities, I think, at Catterick. I think this is a sort of a 1:30, 1:40 horse. Slightly don't really get the entry. He's got to give a weight to Making Headway, who has got a much higher rating. But I think they want to get this thing into the Martin Piper, and I think if he wins or finishes upsides Making Headway, who's got a 129 rating, then he's gonna get a good wallop for this. And I don't think they'll care. They just want to get him into Cheltenham. I think he's a very good horse. He's down in trip, but I think this ground is going to suit. It's a long way from the last. Making Headway is a travelly thing. I think he'll be something to aim at for John Joe, and I think Hastings will reel him in on the run-in. As I say, I think this is a really good prospect.
Yeah, I looked at your notes and you were very bullish on this. And 3-1's available, but 11-4 is the fair price for you, which is with Denise. 5-2 generally available, but 11-4 for ads for his 3 points. And a very good case made there. If you watch the Catterick race, it was deliberately by design not to win by very far, as that team often do. Very skillful ride in the saddle, really, to do that. Very skillful team. And I agree with everything what Adam said there. So hopefully that will do the biz. Nice start to the round. John, can we continue this?
Probably not. Just actually take a little bit of issue with a remark Nev made earlier on when he said there wasn't much to look forward to this weekend. I actually have it on good authority that Ainsley Harriet's going to appear as a marshmallow on the Masked Singer tomorrow night.
Right. Carry on.
Anyway, down to business. 7:15 at Newcastle. This one's darker than Harry Belafonte's arsehole, to be honest. But this is the Susie Camacho trained Coco Starlight, who is a fairly moderate-looking creature at first glance. You need to dig a bit deeper, though. The trip was too sharp when really green on debut. Second time up at Redcar, she travelled much more maturely, was outpaced, but was running middle to near side, which, as we know at Redcar, isn't the best place to be anywhere. Southall, third start, shit track position early on, kept on again for minimal pressure. There was a bit of chicken wings going on. She's a first fall, but the Grand Dam threw some quality stuff that tended to want a mile plus. So I think this trip at this stage should be absolutely ideal. I think Steve Brown's done a wonderful job regarding the placement here because he won't find many worse heats than this. You've got the Mickey and Goldie horses on the comeback trail after 200 years off between them. Bossy Parker was keen last time, goes up in trip, second runner for Wind Up. Be a miracle if that gets home. Reclaim Victory's a trainer downgrade from Brian Ellison. Palace Lord probably offers a guarantee of an even pace, but he's bang at the top of his mark. Nine Elms looks sick to death of racing, and Odd Socks are ran as a bastard. 3 points win.
What a lovely summary. You should do the racing post comments. I'd rather read them. So lovely selection from John. 3 on the nose at a dozen. A lovely dozen. Dozen of one for John for his nap. Lovely. Let's hope that does the biz. Coming to finish the round, I'm going to Sunday. I like to tip on the TV races, but found another bet difficult on the television. So I'm going to Sunday at Exeter, which is an excellent card and very well worth your time. So to drag out your losses over the weekend, I'm going to the 3:35. If we dip badly on Saturday, everyone's lumping on this, and then that's it. Gosh, how posh in the Pertemps at 4-1. What a bet this is. I think this horse is extremely well handicapped, was dotting from 3 out last time at Wincanton. As you know, he got semi-serious with him on the running and he just like grew a fifth leg and sprinted clear. This horse is obviously the only chance they've got of getting in the Pertemps is to win this and win it well. You'd expect that that's the plan, to get up to something like go up another £9 to 136 to have every chance of getting in the Pertemps final. But yes, gosh, how posh. I think it's the proverbial good thing. I can't believe the 4-1 early on offer, and I would be around 15-8, 7-4 tops. 3 points win on the Sabbath to finish the round, and hopefully we can land some nice multi-bets there with our 4, because I like our 4 selections there at the head of the market. Okay, that's the best bets round. Now we covered just the 4 TV races. A short show tonight, fortunately. Newbury's where it's at. That's where ITV Racing will be tomorrow, solely by the looks of it, unless they get some NARS races in at last minute. 1:30 Newbury. Kintara heads the market at 7-2. Nev already put his reasons forward for that. Myself with an outside chance with Picanha for Richard Phillips. So, any views on this, chaps?
I did actually think Kintara was fairly solid, to be honest. But I thought the Joes had gone out the price.
He saw it was 6s early, and
I don't particularly like taking prices like this when others have had better. I'm a miserable get when it comes to that sort of thing.
And Neville's been in, hasn't he, at 6s? Clearly. You know what he's like. I just thought Case made early for Picanha. Judicial Law is another interesting runner in the race, because this horse has a good key piece of form, really. The second to Highland at Cheltenham in a Pertemps qualifier, I thought was quite eye-catching. He did really well in that. Flight Deck was third, and that ran well to...
Yeah, ran well in that stairs thing, didn't it?
Dashel Drasher, yeah, Flight Deck. And the fourth horse, Dubrovnik Harry, finished third to Sant Davy at Sandown in the Grade 3 Handicap hurdle. So that 10 to 1 makes some appeal on the book.
Don't you think they're teeing this up for something, though, Lee?
Yes,
Good.
that's...
I don't mind horses that have won on soft. If they go on good ground, then they're not sort of mudlarky like others. I just wonder if he's a type of a spring horse, more of a spring horse. That he's had a fair break. It's got a sighter all over it for me personally.
It could be 84 days off, like you say. They might want a couple of pounds off. They might want to try and get just a little bit less a race. Or like you say, I mean, this is, of course, a qualifier for the Challenger Stayers Series hurdle. So
I've just realised why you tipped Picanha.
Go on.
The Sayer.
Malinas, yes, German, of course.
German Panzer.
Absolutely. You know, this horse loves the mud. If you go on Richard Phillips' website, he'll tell you that the horse has been away. And in fact, if you go on Richard Phillips' website, most of the yard staff are tipping this as a horse to follow for this season. The old stable staff 5 to follow. So, yes. A pony. Good reward, just some little interest.
Just to mention for the non-runner league, G.A. Henty, I saw him at Market Race, and he's a gorgeous animal. And he would have been a bet here today. I suspect they're looking after him ground-wise. But look at that pedigree. He's beautifully related to some nice horses, and he's very much one to follow in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
It's your fault he's in my tracker, Ed.
Yeah. And mine. Nice
lovely,
looking.
lovely horse. Yeah.
Will go over fences when handicapped. The way jump hurdle suggests he'll be a different proposition in that sphere.
Yeah, he can pick up a race like this. 114 here, getting all that weight, he would have been made plenty of appeal. But there'll be other days for him.
Never anything to add for you in the race other than Kintara? Obviously, you're very happy with your choice, but
yeah, I mean, Kintara, the mark that he has now is very similar to what he had in his younger days. So it's not as if he's going to have to do anything that he hasn't done previously. I just think the ground's right for him, and it looks a pretty solid bet. I'm fairly sure you'll get a decent run for your money. He's only had 3 runs this season. I thought there were question marks against a few of them. Wise Guys coming back the hurdles after relatively disappointing chasing time. Emmy Tom probably wants ground a little bit quicker than what he's going to get, and he's been disappointing since his younger days. American Sniper's got an entry on Sunday, might well take that.
Yes.
There are question marks against quite a few of them. There isn't that much to go on this weekend, but I mean, I wouldn't say it was a banker, but I'd say that it's a solid enough wager.
I think they're all valid points. If I can just chip in that my view last time out was that he was looking to get beat. I know he lost a leg at the last, but he must have been 10s on to go into the last, and he's half chucked it for me, and I can't get out of my mind that he was beaten a couple of times at very short odds as a novice. It's going to be a long old way from the last. I wouldn't fully trust him. If you do back him and he does look solid, that's totally acceptable to say that. I just think he's going to be vulnerable. I'd certainly put in a lay bet if you're into that type of thing. I just think he's got enough quirks.
Short price lays. And talking of shithouses, Shishkin runs in the next 205 at Newbury. The Denman chase. And look, at the prices, he's priced correctly on form. He's rated 173. Protectorat, who jumped fantastically last time at Lingfield, still got put in the bin by Venetia's Long Press, who didn't jump as well. Protectorat jumped Long Press silly, I thought, for quite a bit of the race, and still got put in the bin. So I'm not sure really what form Protectorat's in, because if you jump like that, like last time, and still get beat, it's not amazing. Then you've got a 12-year-old that's third in off 152, that's rated 152, receiving £6. But I suppose if Shishkin turns up and isn't an arse bag, John, he's going to win, isn't he, I think?
Well, is it 11 to 8 on about Shitskin getting out of bed on the right side in the morning? I'd say probably not. Protectorate's turning into a bit of an arsehole, I think. If he went in a phone box, he'd find someone to beat him. I think the only one you can better is Sam Brown, the Tony Blowjob. He'll keep going. He likes the slop. Hitman's in tremendously shit form. Does he know seems to have lost his way somewhat? So Sam Brown for me, sporting punt.
Yeah, Sam Brown for John. Tony Blowjob. Right, fair enough.
You got a surname like Honeyballs, you're going to get him, aren't you? So.
Fair enough. Right, I love it. So that's John's selection for the races he's playing, but I know for a fact now in him, he'll be on the psychiatrist's couch with a good bit of cheese and paste and all sorts for that, I reckon. Never had a views for this.
I think we should be cheering on Shishkin for the good of racing.
What? Because Blogger can land his...
Then it'll piss down Gold Cup man in and take the fucker out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love Shishkin. I like a charismatic crackpot. And I'm not talking about the trainer.
Do you find it funny though, Ads? Right? Nick Luck went out of his way to ring Henderson this morning to see if he was definitely running.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what you're dealing with. The fact that you get a racing presenter having to ring the trainer the day before just to make sure he's running.
Yeah, what was the answer?
Yes.
Would he definitely have won last time? There's no guarantees that. I've watched that closing stages of the King George several times. You couldn't say for sure he would have won. He certainly was still travelling and he hadn't been asked for maximum effort, but he was only just in front when he unseated.
He was going better than Brave Man's Game.
I couldn't back him.
I'd have made him about 49.
I genuinely think if he's in the mood, he will win. John, was Shishkin the horse that Lydia fell out with Henderson over at Sandown?
No, it was out.
Outfield, wasn't it? Yeah, it's heavy.
Well, it will be heavy tomorrow. But anyway, Hendo's confirmed it runs. Probably seen the betting and thought, yes, 8 to 11, yes. If it's 3 to 1 and Willie sent some over, he's dumb runner.
Yeah, scared of home, wouldn't he?
Frightened of getting beat, he's Endo. Right, 240, the game spirit. And a rather disappointing affair, really, for a game spirit. Race might be losing its lustre. I wouldn't say it's a mass amount of prize money, 85,000 guaranteed. Maybe that's an issue. No Irish contenders bothered to come over for this. Edward Stone, John, you said on the 19th of November, Edward Stone is a goner, and we won't see him in the winners' enclosure all season.
Yeah, I'm a bit windy about this, to be honest, now, because I think this is probably very winnable, especially with him having decent form behind John Bon on heavy. Well, I'll stick to me guns. I'll keep out.
Yeah, it's such a weak race. The fact that a well-known South colleague of mine, I'm not naming names, has tipped up a horse for his customers of Amarillo Sky, and he's not tipped up the Gary Moore horse, I think is quite significant, because Editor Dejeet, who of course has beaten Edward Stone before, and some people would have a live chance in this, well, the South Coast bettor and tipster has tipped up Amarillo Sky anti-post for this. Don't know if that puts me off backing Gary's in the race. Whether that's an opinion bet or an information bet, who knows?
I think the Jelly Dale mobs come to the conclusion they've only got so many miles left on the clock with Editor Dejeet, and I think they're saving him for when he can just have a go around somewhere sharp enough and not get taken on.
Well, they've worked out that Kempton looks his track, John. He beat Newbury Negra 13 lengths Kempton at Christmas 2022. And he beat Newbury Negra again, same race, December 23. Maybe just keep him ticking along till that, I don't know. Maybe have a go at Sandown in May or something.
Yeah.
That last race, that last 2 miler.
Yeah, get him at it down the railway.
I have no opinion here. I'm on John's side on his December notes, but I agree with him also that if Edward Stone's going to win, it's probably going to be this one. Nevender.
I think Edward Stone has been disappointing on all 3 runs this season. Obviously, last time he was stepping up in distance, but he was beaten before the trip became an issue for me. It was a good way out when he started to struggle. He should have still been tanking along. The time before at Sandown in the Tingle Creek, he was only 2 lengths ahead of Haddo Desabeau, who was rated 150. no matter how much Hado Desabo has improved, he still didn't run to his rating that day. And it didn't really impress first time back at Cheltenham. I think there's massive question marks against him as to whether he's as good as he was. He wouldn't have to be a lot less than 160 to 162 to win this race, but there are a couple of improvers, and I think Boot Hill is. I know he's got an F next to his name, but he's generally is a really sound jumper. And in receipt of £2, and he does look to be progressing. I think I'd rather side with him. I just think there are too many question marks with Edwardstone at the moment.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say with Boot Hill, I'm pleased they've sort of given him 6 weeks off, actually, because he didn't miss a dance, Boot Hill. They brought him out 4th of November. By just after Christmas, he'd had 3 runs. And I just felt that was enough. In competitive races, I think what much more if you're planning a spring assault. Whether they are, they might not be. They might be thinking they can win races like this, which is probably shrewd. But yeah, I suppose you're right. I like the 6, at least they've given Boot Hill 6 weeks off from them early season exertions. Adam?
Yeah, I quite like Amarillo Sky here. Boot Hill, I don't see him as a bog runner. I think the ground's a concern. Amarillo Sky, they have to go forward with him. He's such an enthusiastic, good jumper. I think he'll get on the lead ahead of editor Dejit. I think he's an interesting entry. You know, he might take some pegging back if he gets away. Venetia's horse has been bitterly disappointing this year, very regressive. So Amarillo for me.
He does love this place as well. Couple of wins here and very impressive ones, albeit, of course, in much lesser company, but very impressive nevertheless. So we know he likes it here. And like Adam says, he will be on the bunny. And we think Edwardstone is quite vulnerable. Neverlander echoing those comments from John's note back in November. Final race on the telly box. I presume we're going to get Rishi Persad and Ollie Bell talking shit, John, in between races tomorrow on ITV. The 3:15, the Betfair hurdle. This is something of a mystery to me and has been for probably a good 5 years now. This is a £155,000 added handicap hurdle with 87,000 to the winner, 32,000 for second. Every single Cheltenham handicap is worth less than this. And this is what I find bizarre, that trainers are targeting Cheltenham for the handicap on a fairish track, a really valuable handicap hurdle, and yet, let's call it what it is, it's a 0 to 140.
Yeah.
Astonishing.
It's unbelievable.
Has it always been a 0 to 140? I always thought it was an open-ended handicap.
But what I'm trying to say is, Adam, the top weight, which is Lucia, which is a mare of Nicky Henderson's, is rated 140. Astonishing.
Yeah. Oh, right, so it is an open-ended handicap?
Yes.
Oh, see, right. Okay.
Did Valco nearly win this one?
Rooster Boosters won it. It's been a tremendous... The Schweppes, I mean, it's had prestige. I have absolutely no idea why anyone from Ireland especially, their hurdlers have such an edge over ours. Why no one from Ireland is targeting them with serious runners? Mullins has sent one over, which is 6 to 1.5, so you'll say I'm talking rubbish, but God, I don't think this is their Division 1 stuff, is it? It might be. It's come from France straight away, but who knows? It's probably hard to tell, but I don't know. I just expected more quality in the race. Obviously,
Henderson could have put Constitution Hill in this and had a mile out the handicap, couldn't he?
Yeah, like that was going to happen.
Just had a toddle around.
Yeah, sadly we've not got Desert Orchid around anymore. Ellsworth, after 4 runs in November and December, I'd have thought, well, for that kind of money, we'll put Desi in this.
You've even curtailed his chasing programme to stick him back over hurdles.
Perfect prep for Gold Cup, yeah, absolutely. Blast round Newbury and have a good old blowout. It's sad days now. Everyone's frightened of getting beat with the good horses, and I just think that's a terrible attitude. They're there to race, let them race. But that's how I see it. And mine and Nev's, I'm really confident it runs a big race. Altobelli, points made. Adam, did you have a view on this? Anything that sort of your eye?
I'm afraid I've not got a great deal to add. I know Altobelli is a lovely horse. The profile is just perfect, isn't it, for the race? I don't really know. I honestly don't know what to do. Nev said you could make a case for plenty and keep going around in circles. It's who you like and what you like.
That's an accurate statement from Nev, to be honest. You could run 4th or 5th in this and run a belt. That's how it is. Very competitive fair, even though it is a 0 to 140. But what are you doing, owners? £87,000 to the winner? You're not going to get that at the Fez. Overpriced beer and massive crowds and shit. Yeah, you've got 87 bags and you've turned it down because you want a winner at Cheltenham. Mugs.
And it won't cost a fiver to go to the bog at Newbury, will
No,
it?
like at Cheltenham, if you want a special shit at Cheltenham, it will cost you a fiver. If you want to queue up with all the scroats, it's free. If you want a good shit in peace, it's a fiver at the posh Portaloos. It's probably gone up since then. I haven't been since 2013, 2014. I reckon.
Tenner, won't it?
Yeah, it'd be a tenner now to have a shit, I think. And wipe on proper toilet paper, not that one you used to get at school, the plastic.
I want a fucking B-day for a tenner.
I think there was a B-day in there, yeah. Be like the French. Dev, what did you think, apart from Altabelli? Anything that sort of like took your eye?
I actually, it's impossible to make a case for Castle Day Mark because we just don't know what to expect. But if you use the Racing Post ratings as a guide, and they know far more about the French form than I do, then he's got very little chance because his rating is far lower, according to them, 128 as opposed to 139 what he runs off. I think he's probably one to take on Castle Day Mark, and I did notice that he's drifting quite markedly now. There was more than a couple that I thought were worth looking at, but one particular big price was Dodie the Great, who I could not believe for 25-1 because he's been lightly raced, he's done nothing wrong, and at 25s, I know that Nico de Boinville hasn't chosen it, but that doesn't make it a great deal of difference.
Oh, better jockey.
And Iberico Lord will love the ground, but as I said, you can go round and round in circles, and I'm happy with what I've got, but it wouldn't surprise me if, really, apart from York Sea, it wouldn't surprise me whatever would.
I'll tell you what, you make a really good point there about Doddy the Great. It was second to go Dante in a decent handicap at Cheltenham. The third horse, Panjari, has come out and won a good Scottish novice hurdle really easily as well. And Donica, the fourth horse, that come out, beat Klitschko, I think, at Warwick, like Tyson Fury. Nothing not to like on the form. The form's okay, like you said, for that sort of price. Got to boo the owner, though. He was the one that come up with the affordability check idea. Yeah, fuck him. I don't want that one. Right, just any other comments on this race? John, anything to finish the show with?
I did think Origny Mill was still open to a bit of improvement for Vic Dartnell, but having missed the last twice off 1-3-2, if you don't go to the wedding where you attend the Fiona.
Yeah, won very impressively last twice. Like you said, gone up, £16 for those two wins.
I think you still run all right.
Yeah, very progressive, Origny Mill. Yeah. At least you mentioned it, so if it cops in at 16s, we can toot the flukes on Twitter.
I'll claim it.
Claim it. An absolute result.
1 million.
I hope you enjoyed that. We're back as normal on Sunday to talk absolute drivel on the Sunday sermon, as we always do, and cause controversy and slag people off needlessly. That's all from me, Nev, Adam, and John. Bye for now.